Nvidia is putting $1.5 billion upfront into advanced chip packaging capacity at a $7 billion Arizona campus it will not own. The factory is not expected to reach high-volume production until 2028. TSMC can fabricate the wafer. The GPU dies can work, and Nvidia still does not have a finished AI accelerator. So why commit $1.5 billion years before the capacity even exists? Because a wafer full of working GPU dies is closer to a warehouse full of engine parts than a finished engine. Nvidia's August 2026 earnings call gave that urgency fresh confirmation. Vera Rubin is now in full production, and Jensen Huang said Nvidia's entire supply chain is running flat out, with current supply covering only about 70% of demand. What Nvidia is buying is access to the part of chip manufacturing that most people never see. Modern AI accelerators combine compute dies, high-bandwidth memory, and other components inside one package. Those pieces are manufactured separately. Then they have to be connected with extremely dense wiring, bonded, assembled, and tested so they behave like one device. That is advanced packaging. And from Amkor's side, the important question is not whether Nvidia needs packaging today. It is whether a $7 billion campus can stay full when the tools actually begin running. Part of Nvidia's urgency is physical. Its current GPU die is already about 814 square millimeters, against a lithography exposure limit of roughly 858. There is almost nowhere left to make one giant piece of silicon bigger. So more compute increasingly means connecting more separately made pieces after fabrication. TSMC already does a lot of this with CoWoS. But that creates the next question. If TSMC already manufactures Nvidia's wafers and already has advanced packaging, why is Nvidia paying Amkor? Because TSMC is capacity constrained too. Industry estimates suggest Nvidia already controls a majority of TSMC's advanced packaging capacity, with its share of some CoWoS capacity estimated above 70%. And in June, TSMC signed its own 10-year agreement to buy advanced packaging and testing services from Amkor. Not to invest in Amkor, to buy services from it. That distinction matters. TSMC is building giant fabs in Arizona. But even after those fabs produce a perfect wafer, another company may still be needed nearby to turn those dies into finished, tested packages. So the bottleneck underneath AI is not one machine or one factory. It is a chain. And the chain is getting physically harder with every generation. Then add HBM stacks beside those compute dies. The package grows in area, wiring density, power, and complexity. More wafer capacity alone does not automatically create more finished accelerators if downstream packaging cannot keep up. That makes packaging capacity economically valuable in a way it was not when one chip was mostly one die in one simpler package. And now the $1.5 billion payment starts to look different. For Nvidia, it is enormous in absolute terms. For Amkor, it is enormous relative to the company itself. The company spent roughly $900 million on capital expenditures in 2025. Its 2026 capex guidance has been reported around $2.5 to $3 billion. Against that, Nvidia's $1.5 billion is roughly half to three-fifths of an entire year's equipment budget. That is not a normal purchase order. It changes how much risk Amkor has to take before the demand arrives. If you were Amkor, the dangerous version of this project would be simple. Spend billions building specialized capacity. Wait roughly 18 months. Then discover that the customer demand you expected never materialized. A large prepayment changes that equation. It tells Amkor that at least one enormous customer is willing to commit capital before the tools are producing revenue. Then, TSMC adds a 10-year procurement agreement on top. Neither commitment guarantees full utilization, but both make a $7 billion build-out easier to justify than building entirely on speculation. And Amkor needs that protection because this is not a software margin business. Its gross margins have generally run around 10 to 15%. In 2025, Amkor generated about $6.7 billion of revenue. Now it is planning a two-phase campus costing roughly $7 billion, about a full year of company revenue concentrated in one project. Phase 1 is expected to handle around 25,000 wafers per month. The first building is targeted for mid-2027, with high-volume production in early 2028. Direct CHIPS Act funding is roughly $400 million, only about 6% of the $7 billion project. Government support helps. It is not paying for most. The customer commitments matter far more to the operating case. Because once the equipment is installed, utilization becomes the number that can quietly decide whether the asset works. A packaging line running near capacity spreads depreciation and fixed costs across far more output. The same expensive line sitting partly empty still has to be staffed, maintained, and depreciated. And Amkor has not disclosed enough facility-specific revenue or utilization assumptions to calculate a credible payback period. So any clean, "this factory pays back in X years" number would be fake precision. The honest test is whether high-value packaging volume actually fills the equipment after 2028, and Arizona makes that test harder in one way and easier in another. It is generally slower and more expensive to recreate this supply chain in the United States than to add capacity inside the established Asian ecosystem. But TSMC's Arizona fabs are nearby. Instead of fabricating wafers in Arizona, shipping them across the Pacific for packaging, and then moving finished devices back toward U.S. customers, Amkor can put the next manufacturing step in the same regional cluster. Shorter routes, shorter cycle times, less geographic dependence. That is the strategic case. The economic case still depends on volume, and there is another risk hiding inside Amkor's customer list. Its 10 largest customers already produced 72% of 2025 sales, with Apple alone near 30%. Nvidia diversifies the business. But if AI packaging becomes dominant enough, Amkor could simply replace one concentration risk with another. A giant anchor customer helps when you are building a factory. It hurts if that customer changes its roadmap. If you want to test those economics yourself, I built a free mega project calculator where you can change cost, utilization, margins, and operating assumptions, and it's linked below. And this is where the deal becomes less comfortable. The Arizona plant is being built for a moving target. Industry reporting on Nvidia's Rubin Ultra roadmap suggests the next package may consume even more advanced packaging capacity per accelerator. One reported 4 reticle configuration would require roughly a 1/3 increase in packaging capacity just to maintain the same unit volume. If that holds, the shortage does not disappear when Amkor adds capacity. Nvidia's own product roadmap consumes some of the gain, and that flips the logic. Amkor can add capacity, while Nvidia's next generation consumes part of the gain simply by becoming harder to package. That makes the $1.5 billion prepayment look smarter. But it creates a different risk. Packaging technology is changing while the factory is being built. TSMC is expanding CoWoS. It is also developing larger panel-level approaches. Other suppliers are expanding advanced packaging too. So Amkor is not building the only new capacity. It is entering a race where the technology, package size, and required tools may change before the campus reaches full utilization. Scarcity makes the investment look safe. The roughly 18-month construction and ramp delay is what makes it risky. So what actually has to be true for this bet to work? First, AI accelerator demand still has to be strong when Phase 1 reaches volume in 2028, not just today. Second, Amkor's equipment has to remain useful for the packaging architectures Nvidia and TSMC need several generations from now. Third, those anchor agreements have to convert into enough real production volume to keep a capital-intensive, relatively thin-margin facility highly utilized. And the most important variable is probably utilization. The $1.5 billion does not make Nvidia an owner. The 10-year TSMC deal does not guarantee every tool stays full. The $400 million CHIPS grant does not make an underused factory profitable. What those commitments do is move some risk away from Amkor before construction is finished. That is why Nvidia is paying up front. It is not buying a factory. It is buying a better chance that the packaging capacity exists when its next chips need it. And that reveals something bigger about the AI boom. The most valuable chip designer in the world can have the design. TSMC can have the wafer. The GPU dies can work perfectly, but a warehouse full of flawless engine parts still does not make a finished engine. Billions of dollars of AI hardware can still wait on the packaging line that assembles the pieces. The number to watch in Arizona is not the $7 billion construction headline. It is how full those packaging lines are when they finally start running. Because if they are full, Nvidia's $1.5 billion may look less like an expensive prepayment and more like insurance on the physical bottleneck underneath its growth. If they are not, Amkor will have built a very expensive answer to a shortage that changed before the factory was ready.